Alright, I got the 1872 Super Cub running. Had valve issues. Well, the original motor blew up and the one I bought had valve issues. And I'm trying to put this Johnny bucket on. It fits. I don't know if you can really see. Let's focus. I had to grind down this tab, the corner off this tab, on the other side of this pin, because it was hitting a bolt right there. So it'll pivot up and down. I didn't have a lift rod, so I made that lift rod. And that side, I just threw it back in there, but that side fell out. This little latch mechanism, I need to weld some more metal on that so it latches a little tighter. I've had to do that before on other ones. But so I made this lift rod. In 1872, the arm is on the bottom, where on the narrow frames and quiet lines and wide frames they're up on the top. Here, I'll show you. This is a 129. It's got the manual lift, but it's up here instead of down here. My 1450 is right here. Set it down under here. My 147 used to have electric lift, but I had to convert it to a manual because I ruined it. But it's on top, and then I actually put this here, so I had all sorts of options, but it kind of got carried away. But they're all on top. So the problem with it down there is up is down and down is up, which would be fine once you readjust for the controls. You just have to remember that's backwards. You'd probably just get used to it and wouldn't even bother. But there's a float mechanism, so you have no down pressure. So really I have no up pressure. Alright, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me or not, but if you look right here, watch the arm. You can see it's pivoting inside, and that's not doing nothing because it's in the float position. Alright, I don't know if you heard me, so I'll just restate what I was showing you. You can see it's moving in here, but that's not moving because it's in float position to pick it up. So there's a bolt, some sort of lockout you can get underneath. I'll try to show you that. It's pretty tight down here to show you, but there's this right here. You can lock it into this. This is solid, and this is where the float is. And here I unhooked my arm so I can move it. See, this is just kind of free hanging. And that the top of this hits the bolt over there for the cylinder, and that's how you have the forced up position, and then this is how it floats downwards. So you can put a bolt in there. Here, let me get a bolt. Alright, this is totally the wrong bolt, but there's some sort of part you can buy. I haven't found it for this particular tractor, but so it basically pins this into this plate, and then now I got a bunch of slop because it's the wrong bolt, but see, it locks it together. So when I have it locked together, then the bucket works. Alright, so I got that bolt in there. You see what I did here. I did this really nice. I just ground little slits right here, bent it over, so I didn't have to cut this. I did kind of mess up here. You see this has a bunch of pinholes in it, and it bent already because it's weak that way. I should have had them holes facing this way, so the pin would go this way instead of up and down. So now it's holding it up right now. I'll turn it on and give you a demonstration. So I got it working there, but doing some research, I guess when you have down pressure, it's very likely to wreck roll pins and stuff with that rock shaft. And the original, it looks, as far as I can tell, the original like snow blade attachments have this attachment down here underneath the pivot point. So I got an idea for that. And then the other thing is when I turn, these tires hit. And this is bolted here to here. So I bought a 2-inch square stock by 18 inches, and this plate right here is 16, so I have a little bit of overhang. And then I'll get bigger bolts to bring it out forward without destroying the original Johnny bucket, so it could be reversed. But my other idea is to have this pivot point down here. I just made an angle iron thing, and I'm going to have to just scrap this, all I just did. And just let me get the angle iron. So I'm going to have this bolted there. And then I'll have 3 different adjustments, and then make another rod that goes underneath the front axle to it. And I have this old go-kart axle that bent. I think I'm going to use that. Some solid stock, and probably I might grind that off and reuse that, weld it onto this end, and then might just find a bolt and then drill a hole in it for my own little pin. Unless I can find another one of these. But I don't really want to use this because it already bent. And I'll get onto that and show you that in a second. Man, I was really lucky I welded this on there. I didn't know if I needed to move it or not, so I just put a little bead on each side right on that end. So I was able to cut it right there, and I still got my piece here to weld onto my other axle lift arm. And what I'm gonna do is, I jacked it up. Tires are off the ground a little bit. And there's no need for it to go lower than this. So I'm gonna take a measurement with that down from there to there and hope that works. And then for the right, because I want it to go up as high as it can get, but it doesn't need to go down that low. But hopefully, if I mess that up, I got these 3 holes here where I can maybe find the one that I want. Like maybe if I use this one, it'll go down further in here. Might not go down all the way, but it'll go up all the way. Try to have this mid-range. That's the goal. I don't know if that's how it's going to work. And I did see, I haven't got an answer yet, but they make kits here to make this longer so you can get more travel. Of course, you lose some of your lift, but I might make my own for that too. but I'm just gonna leave that alone for now. And so I'll weld that on, get that lift rod arm length figured out, and I'll be back with you. Alright, plan C. I have the threaded rod. I gotta cut this to length. Weld this to it somewhere. I'm gonna weld this nut to this pipe. I couldn't find a full length pipe. I was thinking about finding a pipe like this to replace this solid axle, but I couldn't find one, so I found a short piece. So I'm gonna weld this to the pipe, this to this, and then here's a little redneck hack. When you're welding on a nut to something, throw a weed in there, and that'll keep the threads from getting splattered. So that's my goal now. Then I'll have depending on how I do it, I'll have 3 inches of adjustability. You'll have to unhook this and then spin it. And then this is gonna have to be angled. I'm guessing that's about right. I might have to tweak that some, but so this will only work one way, so I'll have to do a full turn for adjustment. But it'll be nice having adjustment. Then if I cut this too short or too long, I can fine tune it with this, and this should be strong enough. If it's not, then what I should do, fine tune it, take a measurement, write it down somewhere, and then if it does break, I can do it solid at the adjustment that I like. Alright, I have the little attachment point hooked in, and I got the wheels off the ground, so it's dropping lower by, I don't know, at least 2 inches, and it might get amplified once I extend this, so it might be more like 3 or 4 or something. And I started her up and I ran this all the way back. See, here's a float, it's working. And then I'm going to use this Johnny Bucket Junior rope. Is too short. It only came out to like here. So I'm going to have to get a longer rope. I'll show you how that works later. Or you can watch, I got a really old video when I had this on my 147. Like 7, 8, 9 years ago or something. You can watch that if you want, if I forget. But, so I'm going to use this rope as a measurement. I'm going to go center to this, which would be center of this. And then I'm just going to go to the very edge of this middle hole. And then I'm going to mark it on here, because that'll give me room to where I can weld the bolt or whatever I find to go through the pinhole right on the edge. Alright, I got that done. I went center there to there, which would have been the edge. I got it marked right there, so I'll cut this off right here. And then hopefully I can find a bolt pin thing. I could use these. Actually, I got these locking nuts. Clips are easier. I could do that. Oh, I gotta figure that part out yet, but I'll cut it right there and figure the rest out and let you know. Alright, that worked out perfect. I found a 1/2 inch rod. It was painted. I had to grind the paint off for it to fit. It's a really tight fit. So I had to drill a hole in there so I can put a clip in it. But I haven't tried it yet. So it I should be able to lift it up. Oh yeah. See, that's the float mechanism. So I won't have any down pressure, which I'm not sure if I need. If I do need, I'll see more into that lockout. But everything I see online, you don't want to do that because it can create bigger issues. So I'll just leave it like this for now and adjust later if needed. Let's give her a whirl. High enough though. It's pretty high. There's a bale. Well, that didn't work out very good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to plan D. All right, so plan D is, hey, at least I'm not hiding nothing from you. They don't always work out. I'm gonna try to straighten that out, and then hopefully the threads will still work. I think it's the in and out. And maybe play around with these. I wish it'd go up a little bit higher. I really don't know if it needs to go down that low, but I could play around with them, try tweaking this, see if I can get it to go up a little bit higher. It was pretty high. It might be fine the way it is, but I'll get it going up a little bit higher, figure out where my adjustment is after I straighten this out, and then I'm just gonna weld it solid. I'll just cut this off, and then I got some more of this axle left that I already trimmed off. I'll just re-weld it on, there and there. So that shouldn't be too tough, but it's starting to get late, so there might be a project for tomorrow, but I'll keep it all going in this one really long video now, swimming. Alright, so yesterday, I don't know if I really did a video. I might have. If I did, it'll be right before this clip. But I finally got her, and the problem I'm having is I never had a lift rod pushing. Usually they're up here pulling. So when you're pushing, stuff flexes and bends a lot easier. So this is like prototype number, I don't know what letter in the alphabet I'm up to, like H or something maybe. I did this one here. I did it straight, and the other issue I was having was when it was going up, it would hit the bottom of this axle. So this is bringing this down, and then I did angle that down too. So I'll give you a demonstration. And so far, I mean, it picked myself up and nothing bent. It should be pretty strong. I got this, I don't know what this is, 1 inch or maybe a little bigger square stock. So really the only weak spot is right here. But it's connected to this, so this is all holding it together. And this is pretty cool too. There's a nut on the other end of that. Let's try it. There you go. So I loosened the nut, and I could play with this and get the right length that way. And once I got it, I put that bead right there to hold it. So I got the length I want. It's going up. I have it in the middle hole there. I did drill a hole and pin that 1/2 inch rod I had there. It was just something I had laying around. I should cut that off. I don't really need that. That was just there. But we'll start her up. I'll show you. Gets pretty good height. I can't go any higher. Let's trim some more of this off. Really, I don't need this and I don't want to wreck it. I guess I want to put it on one of my other tractors. But I had to cut this piece out. It's hitting here a little bit. And it's hitting the frame right there. Well, that's pretty high. Plenty high for what it is. It's not a front end loader, it's just a Johnny bucket. And then it goes down. I think it's almost maxed out on the ground. It will go a little further, but that's float right there, so there's no down pressure. And I got to put the rope. Had the original rope there, it's too short because the longer cup, so I got this. I gotta get this set up, and I'm gonna end this whole lifting rod Johnny bucket thing, and I'll do another video separately about me using it. All right, thank you. Please subscribe.